name is Carley Gitelman, and I am the local food distribution coordinator for the Food RX Box program here in Port Alberni. For the past 12 weeks, we delivered fresh local foods to people who were released from the West Coast General Hospital. My role as the food box coordinator was to go to the farmers and the local food producers, collect all the food, and then package them into boxes and deliver them to the clients. Bringing people together around local food just felt incredible. I had a wonderful experience connecting to people, hearing their stories. It made me realize how much of a difference having access to healthy local foods has on a person's well-being. We have a special program for you today. I'm with Helene and Kaley, who are the dietitians working on the Food RX Box program from Island Health. We unpacked one of the food boxes that was delivered on week 4 of the program. Helene and Kaley, would you introduce yourselves and explain your role in the program?
Sure, thanks, Carly. I'm Hélène Dufour. I'm a dietitian with Public Health for Port Alberni, West Coast, and Oceanside. The Food RX program is a hospital-to-community nutrition security program delivering healthy foods to patients after hospital discharge who would benefit from local healthy foods. It's a partnership between Island Health, ACRD, the Food Hub, and our local producers.
And my name is Ruel. I'm a clinical dietitian at West Coast General Hospital. And my role in the Food RX program was to link patients who were being discharged from hospital with a food box to support their healing journey at home. So we actually have a photo of one of our weeks of food that we will share with you. And I'll just kind of start going through it step by step. So you'll see the food box was intended to provide clients with a variety of local food products that were in alignment with Canada's new food guide. So each box contains plenty of produce, protein foods, which includes dairy products, and whole grains. And so the produce, as seen at the top of the photo here, we have squash, corn, cucumber, and carrots. They all provide an array of vitamins and minerals and antioxidants and fiber, all of those things helping our organs to function as they should. So everything from our eyes to our guts, and they keep our immune system strong. And then moving down the photo, we have protein foods in this week's box. That was water buffalo yogurt, canned salmon, breakfast sausages, and eggs. And these all support healthy muscles and bones that move our bodies. Many protein foods also contain vitamins and minerals like B12, iron, and choline, which are essential for brain development and function. And then we have whole grains in the box down at the bottom. So that included sourdough bread and whole grain flour. And both of these products have a lower glycemic index and higher fiber content than just plain white bread or flour, and even other grains like white rice. So we know that eating foods higher in fiber can help lower your risk of stroke, colon cancer, heart disease, and type 2 diabetes. And then finally, in the top left corner of the photo there, we've also included farmers market coupons in the boxes every other week, so that clients had some choice as to what other produce they might want to add that week. And so in general, this makes the box about half full of produce, a quarter full of protein, and a quarter full of whole grains. And that's just like the healthy balanced plate model that Canada's food guide shows us.
That's awesome. Thanks, Kaley. And you know what? Wow, I would love to have a box like that for myself, for my family. So our evaluation after 3 months of doing the program has shown many benefits. So people have said that they've increased their vegetable consumption. They also really enjoyed the variety of the foods that was provided. They've also said that they've tried more local foods and tried new foods as well. And they're also planning on accessing more local foods as often as possible. And also one of the other benefits was that they felt an increase in their emotional well-being, which is amazing. Now that the funding is over, we're trying to find ways to continue the program. So for example, we might be able to start selling the boxes to the public and to subsidize, maybe use the proceeds to subsidize boxes for people that can't afford them. Overall, the Food RX program is a great program, and we hope that we can continue offering it in the Valley. Thank you.
A huge thank you to all the producers who contributed their amazing product to the box program. It was immensely appreciated and nourishing. I spoke with some clients who received the food box and asked what they appreciated about the program.
The food box program was a very pleasant surprise. We never expected to get something like that, but it was something that we needed, that we didn't realize we needed till it showed up at our door, because I did go in the hospital and I had surgery, and I thought I was well prepared, but I wasn't. And seeing the fresh vegetables and all the produce and the bakery goods.
And I'm not a shopper, so it came in very handy.
Yeah, because the first couple of weeks were very difficult for me, and I look forward to Tuesday afternoon seeing that box arrive, because it was sort of like, hey, this is something very special, and it was well thought out.
I loved how I was able to be delivered to my front door, and it's helped me a lot financially in providing for both of my children who are special needs. And it gives me an opportunity to try new things with them as well in the kitchen, and also just teaching them in general where food comes from.
That's wonderful. What did you make with some of the food from the food box?
A big treat was we got some buffalo mozzarella and also some really good whole grain flour, and we were able to make some homemade pizzas where my eldest son got to put all of his toppings on, had a load of fun, and it was absolutely delicious. I've received pumpkins and turnips and stuff like that, where I've been able to kind of get adventurous and try making different kind of purees and soups and pies and desserts, and it's just been absolutely a pleasure. Have special needs, as I may mention, and they're also extremely picky when it comes to their foods. It was really cool to be able to try and get them to try new things. My son tried pumpkin pie for the first time and loved it. My youngest here, he got to have some of their fresh yogurt, and I mixed it with some berries and his favorite cereal, and he absolutely adored that. And not gonna lie, they didn't like everything, but the fact that they were willing to try new things was just a pleasure.
Coming out of the hospital, I'm by myself, so it's only myself and I that's looking after myself. So a lot of times I'm isolated. I may have a few people that pop by or call me, see how I'm doing, but to actually have someone there for me and keep an eye on me, it's not possible. One thing that I really enjoyed about the food program is that it was once a week. So when people came by to bring you the food, it was like a check-in. And it was really great that people got to say, hey, how are you doing? How are you liking the food? And it was really nice to have that, because when you come out of the hospital, there's the worry about new costs of medications and how am I going to afford these groceries and how am I going to get to the grocery store? When we come out of the hospital, we don't want to go grocery shopping. We're still dealing with med change, and if we're groggy or sleepy, or still dealing with that balance. And when we have someone to bring groceries to us, it is an absolute relief. And when I was first given that first box, I cried. I was so happy and relieved that I didn't have to go out and do that. And to have people with a smiling face saying, here you go, like, what more can you ask for? It was very relieving. So able to take that box and able to do stuff and with this food, and it lasted a very long time. It was a huge amount for one person. And it was very much appreciated to get that food box. Just even for those 4 weeks, it was very helpful. with COVID as well, with different businesses shutting down, we're able to look around Port Alberni and go, this is what we have locally. It's a learning experience to show that we have enough food in Port, that we don't have to get out of town. So it's better for us economically and in so many ways. So it's a great learning experience, not just for people that are coming out of the hospital or for people in the farms. It's for everyone to see really what a community could do when we all pull together.
As a new parent, new mother, not having to go and leave the house the first few weeks of motherhood was a huge relief for us, especially during this pandemic. But in other aspects of it not being the pandemic, just having a surprise box of groceries come to your door, it involved us to have creativity, which was really cool because it's things that we don't usually use. Came to the door, and it was all locally sourced, which was really cool, and we just really appreciated it because not having to leave the house and just enjoying those moments with the baby, not thinking about groceries, and just having this box of great goodness come to your door was really cool, and we really appreciated that.
That's so awesome. Did you find that the food box helped with your recovery?
Yeah, I think just having the food box, knowing it was coming, not having to stress about making dinner, and just getting this box delivered to us each week, and just seeing what was in there, and then just making food on the go, helped us just with the stress of not thinking about groceries and having to go out of the house and what to do with the baby. Is that going to work? It was just a huge help in the recovery.
Before that we eat lots of meat. Now we change to more veggies and stuff, and we use the local products as well. It's good. They are not giving only meat or not only veggies. They are giving all types of food, which gives complete protein food, and everything is good. Like we have veggies, fruits, everything and stuff. We have meats, and we have get the farmers market coupons as well as QF coupons. Yeah, it helped for the kids to bring lots of stuff from there.
Oh,
yeah,
awesome.
I buy jams from the farmers market with the coupons. Yeah, she's loving the jams and stuff. Every product is good. Last year, due to farmers market, I started growing garlic and carrots. It gives a good stuff in my garden. Yeah, like that, any new things, new seeds like that will encourage you to put in the garden and show you for the next coming seasons.
Wow, so programs like this are inspiring.
Yeah, it's inspiring.
I had so much fun visiting our local farmers. I went to the Hupatchesett Community Farm and learned how garlic is grown. I helped Tammy and her team plant garlic for next year. I visited Vancouver Island Grain and Milling and learned how to mix cereal for the food box. I went to Shelter Farm and harvested vegetables every week with the crew there. I visited Nighthawk Ridge Farm and met with Kathy Van Horn, and she introduced me to all her cows. That was so much fun. We are so fortunate to have access to such incredible, healthy, local foods here in the Valley. I met with Anna Lewis, who is an agricultural support worker from the ACRD who worked as a consultant on the Food RX Box program. She linked Island Health with all the local producers and farmers who contributed amazing foods to the box program.
Hi, my name's Anna Lewis, and I am super excited to have been a part of this project. So I was brought on a little bit later on in the project development because as part of the Alberni Farmers Institute, and then as my role for the ACRD as an agricultural support worker, and growing up on a family farm here within the Valley of Port Alberni, I've got a lot of connections with our local growers and then with our processors as well. So when Island Health and the Food Hub started looking at some of the logistics around pulling together a community food box, it gets a little bit overwhelming. And I used to run 2 farms which both did a vegetable CSA box every week. So I used to do 85 boxes a week, but just vegetables. So pulling together a community box, which also included baking, seafood component and proteins was a whole new experience for me. And the proteins I actually found the most difficult, because one of the issues that we have here in the valley, actually this is all across BC, is the lack of an abattoir. And in order for a farmer to sell their meat, it needs to be processed at a certified facility. But we did have one exciting thing happen this past spring, where the ACRD was designated as a class, they can get Class D licenses, which means on-site slaughter can now legally occur and people can purchase half a side of beef. So, or pork, or sheep, or whatever. It's all very exciting, which means in the future, moving forward, if a program like this was continued, hopefully we can have a lot more variety. With the emergence of COVID this past spring, it's become really, really clear how important it is to support our local growers and processors and just to have that vibrant circular economy. So this project was amazing in that sense because it completely utilized what we have here in our own valley, which is amazing. A lot of people don't know we have a water buffalo dairy farm. That's incredible. Or that we've got people that are producing eggs on quite a grandiose scale. Or hotels with all their processing. I mean, nitrate-free bacon. Can't get better than that. Or St. Jean's Cannery with all the amazing seafood products that they carry. And they're all here, right within the valley. So when we were looking at, okay, where are we going? How are we going to utilize these funds? How are we going to ensure that it stays within our community? It was just such a great way to collaborate and pull producers together.
The Food RX Box program would not have been possible without the collaboration between Island Health, the ACRD, the Alberni Valley Transition Town Society's Food Hub, the Tofino Ucluelet Culinary Guild, and the McConnell Foundation. A huge thank you to all the people who were involved in making this program such a success.